Very good afternoon, all of you. My name is Mugdha from Insight Quality Services. And it is good morning for Dr. Ripi Singh and Dr. Johannes who are joining us from out of India today. We are here today to basically, this is a preview session for the session that we are planning on 5th of December, which is a short executive course on digital transformation. And basically, we got a lot of questions about what is going to happen in the one-day session. So we are here today to answer those questions. That is the aim for today's session. And to start with, let me quickly introduce our speakers for today. And I'm sharing this because I don't want to get my things wrong. And about the facilitators, so let me quickly introduce Dr. Ripi Singh and Dr. Johannes Vrana. Dr. Ripi Singh is an NDE 4.0 coach with significant research background, which started with Aging Aeroplane Program in 92 at Georgia Tech. That is very, very interesting, sir. Ripi serves as the chair of ASNT Committee on NDE 4.0 and vice chair of ICNDT SIG on NDE 4.0 again. Decades of his research work on fatigue and fracture damage tolerance, human factors in NDE are well published and frequently referred to. Dr. Ripi is now working hard to bring Industry 4.0 perspective and innovation processes to the ND community and CT ecosystem with his virtual coaching lectures and articles. He's also on various university advisory boards, US delegation to ISO 56000 on innovation management, International Association of International Professionals, and CT Academy of Science and Engineering. Dr. Ripi is an author of 18 books, over 150 peer-reviewed publications, and dozens of keynote lectures. So thank you for joining us, Dr. Ripi. Our second speaker for today, Dr. Johannes Vrana. He's from Germany. He is an ND technology specialist with significant experience in UT and directly relevant forging applications. A physicist with expert knowledge of non-destructive testing, R&D, power generation, equipment, products, and applied technology as it relates to computer-based tools. A well-known specialist for automated UT, reconstruction, phased array simulation statistics, smart data analysis, and thermography across Europe. He has a strong knowledge of steel materials as it goes through component production and inspections. So that is a brief about Dr. Johannes. And together, I think they form a great team, and we are glad that we are able to have such good speakers for us today. Right, so that is about the introductions. To start with this discussion, because this all, basically the idea of this preview started because we started getting questions about what is going to happen on the 5th of December. So to take this conversation further, I'd like to start with a few questions that I would ask to Dr. Johannes and Dr. Ripi, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll start with the basics. The term digital transformation, it has the word digital, right? And digital can mean different things to different people because during communication with various people, it comes across as this term is interpreted very differently by different guys, depending upon how they look at it. So someone might think about going paperless as being digital, or maybe they think about data analytics, or they think about artificial intelligence when we talk about digital. What exactly are we talking about here? And I'll ask this question to Dr. Johannes. What exactly do we mean by digital when we are talking about this term in this perspective?
About all of it and about none of it. Because this is all those digital technologies is the basis for digital transformation, or forms the technological basis for the digital transformation. But digital transformation is a lot more. And it comes from combining all of those tools on the one side, and then on the other side, yeah, if you start combining them, and if you're trying to bring that into the companies, how does that change the companies themselves? How does that change the business for themselves. So yeah, during the workshop, the training we will be doing in Pune, it will more be, or we will touch some of those digital aspects, but the more advanced ones. So not really okay, how do I store digital data on my computer, or how do I take a picture with my camera? That's something everybody knows. But once we come to AI, once we come to some parts of augmented reality, and especially once we come to the point of how do we combine all of them, that's really where we are getting to during that day in Pune.
All right. So now that we've talked about digital in the digital transformation, let us talk about digital transformation as a whole and what it means. Care to share your insights, Dr. Rippy?
Sure. So what Johannes started talking about is that it's how you integrate the technologies, but you are integrating them for a purpose. And transformation is the purpose. So when we use the term digital transformation, digital is the means, transformation is the outcome. The whole objective is to transform your business, change your business, and take it to the very next level that you may not be able to see today. You know, how Amazon has done or how Expedia has done. They've actually transformed the way you shop, transformed the way you plan your travel. So the focus is 60% transformation, 40% digital. One is means and one is the outcome.
Right. All right. So, Dr. Johannes, when we say that we'll conduct a one-day executive short course, people often ask us what will be delivered and how it will benefit them. And what does a transformation roadmap exactly mean?
So this is a couple of steps. So number one, we will touch some of the emerging technologies which we currently have, so that you get a better feel on what they can do. We will also be touching, okay, how can we combine all of them? And what could that mean for your business? How could that support your business? Could that bring value to your business or even transform your business? And then the third part, the roadmap. Yeah, that's where it's really getting interesting, because we have been running workshops on digital transformation now for the last about 2 years. And with about every customer, it's about the same situation. You come up with great ideas, how you can support your business and how you can create value to your business. But usually those initiatives you have to start are a little bit bigger than what your usual projects are. Actually, one initiative to get towards, you will have to have multiple projects to actually reach that goal. And each project on the way will have a benefit for your business. But you must have that goal in mind. And that's what the roadmap is really about, to create a goal where you want to go to, and then to define all the steps you need to do to reach that. But first you need to have the definition of the goal. And usually that is something which is really difficult to see in your daily business, because usually people, we always hear, we cannot work on digital transformation because we have too much work to do.
Shivam, can you go on mute, please?
So it's really that, to bring you to the point that you can actually achieve digital transformation, that you can actually achieve bringing your company or transforming your company to a future business which will allow you to earn more money.
So, as you were speaking right now, I was just thinking about it. So, after listening to this, right now we don't know what the end goal is, right? So, digital transformation kind of seems very much like a distant relative. You know they're coming for your wedding, but you don't know what to say when you see them. So it still seems like a distant thing to me right now. So how can we bring it closer to the current reality?
That's an interesting metaphor, Magda. I have never thought of digital transformation as a guest or a cousin coming to your wedding. I've actually always thought that's the bride. We are getting married with no choice but to get married.
Which is kind of true.
It is something we have no choice but to fall in love and embrace it in the family and accept it and move it on, because it is out here. It started a while back. We cannot stop it. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The best way is to understand it, just like you want to understand your spouse, and figure out a way to coexist and help each other have a good life, right? So, use the technologies in the most appropriate way. Do not fall in love with the shiny toys. Fall in love with the objective that it can bring for your business. And it's that. It's like, don't fall for the face of the bride, but fall for the value it will bring to the family. Your previous question, when you were asking Johannes about the roadmap, I would like to add one thing. The transformation roadmaps are very different than traditional roadmaps that most companies are used to making. We can have a goal, we can have projects, we can combine them. Most of the time, you know where you are heading. With the transformation, you don't know the end state. So the roadmaps, the way you build them is a little bit different, and we'll cover 5 different aspects as to why transformation roadmaps are different and how to deal with them. That's the point we should make.
Okay, that is interesting. Right. So sometimes also our customers worry that their type of business is not eligible for digital transformation. For example, it's not like they are manufacturing, say, for example, a same product part multiple times, or same product in large numbers. Each, job is different. Each needs a unique set of processes and so on. So they worry that digital transformation is something which is not for them. What do you have to say to such an audience? Or do you have any examples to share?
Johannes, you go first.
Yeah, digital transformation, in my eyes, it's for everybody. Some of us have to start earlier, some of us perhaps can start a little bit later, but all of us shouldn't start too late, because otherwise we get, how does Rippy like to say it, get blockbustered or get Kodak or, yeah. Yeah, this is, even if you do not, if you have a manufacturing business, it's clear that you want to digitally transform and get into a kind of a smart factory environment. But also, if you do not have any products you make, if you just have processes, that those processes is, if I think about an NDE inspection company who is going out and doing and scrubbing parts all day, all the processes you have to get the invoices, to send the inspectors out, to get them to write the reports, to send the reports to the customers, to get the report signed, to get the invoices issued. All of that can be digitalized. And it can be integrated into a digital transformation platform together with your customers or your suppliers. So that all of this nasty work you currently have to do, because if you think you have an NDE specialist, you train him for a lot of money, and finally he spends about 50% of his time doing all those tasks, filling out paper sheets. That's not what he should be focusing on. He should be focusing on doing the inspections properly. That's what you're paying him for. And that is what you can actually achieve. And for some of those companies who believe the digital transformation is not for them currently, actually the burden to get to digital transformation has lowered quite a bit. Because if you look around, there have been so many startups doing some process digitalization solutions. You will be able to find one which is you can just buy and which supports you in most of those tasks which you have to do. And it frees up resources so that you can then perhaps work on some other stuff also for a digital transformation. Give the inspectors a tablet, for example. Don't have them write a report anymore. And that can be, if you look into whatever company you have, you will find examples what they can do to digitize, and to digitally transform.
You know, when transformation happens, it pretty much happens in the ecosystem and everybody gets wrapped into it. You really cannot say that my business does not need it or I don't need it, right? I mean, some of us, probably there are people in this meeting at the moment who are my age group who saw the email come in the 1986, 88. And when I first started using email and I told my father about it, who was a chief engineer, and he said, oh, in my office, we don't need email. We got peons, they carry paper, and like, I don't need this thing, right? And it is exactly the same thing that we heard from British postmaster when telephone was coming. He said, why do I need this machine to talk to somebody? I have messenger boys. I can write it. By the end of the day, the message reaches and comes back. We tend to think it doesn't belong to us, but it belongs to everyone. Actually, India is a great example of digital transformation, right? In the last 3-4 years, every time I come to India, I'm surprised. I mean, I could use Paytm with a Golgappa ready, which is not thought of anywhere else. So some things we take it. Just because we cannot see it, it does not mean that we don't need it. Yesterday, I was talking to, and this is a beautiful example, Magda, you will correlate to that. Yesterday, I was talking to a scientist from Unilever, and we were talking about Unilever and L'Oreal and the makeup, okay? So very soon, you will have a micro 3D printer on your vanity where you put your cell phone in front of your face and it figures out, okay, this is the dress you're wearing today and this is your hairstyle today. And it actually prints the makeup that you should apply that day for you. And then you just take it, apply it, go. I mean, the 3D printer is getting to that point where interactively you can pick and choose your eye color and makeup and print it, and every day it can be different. You don't have to think about buying number 386 lipstick or whatever. It's just the shade you want that day. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, this is also something we can already see a lot of digital transformation happening on our private side. Think about of how many apps we are using in our cell phones and how they are getting more and more connected. How this whole private story is coming together. But it's not what we are using for our business. On business, we are still doing business like we did it 10 years ago or 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think we are still stuck on Excel sheets, most of us.
And a future, I did a video on why email is a bad idea nowadays. A couple of weeks ago. And the same is true for Excel. There should not be a single Excel sheet around anymore. Everything you have in an Excel sheet, it would be better if you have a dedicated solution which can actually take care of all of that. Yes, perhaps we need Excel for some things where we want to play and develop stuff, but as it is currently used as the standalone business tool, and I have seen big corporations like Siemens who are using Excel sheets for doing about all their business processes kind of with Excel. And that's like, really? But it's changing. For the big corporations, they are working on changing it. And now it's time also for the small ones, because as Rippy said, this is once the big ones have reached a certain stage, they will force all their suppliers, all their customers to go in the same direction. Yeah. Sending an invoice by email. I guess in 5 years, there will be a different solution for that, and they will force you to do it differently.
Yeah.
Magda, maybe we should let people ask questions because they're curious about it. So they may have things that they want to know so they can decide whether to join us for a full day course or not. How about if we
Yeah.
open the floor for the audience?
Absolutely. We are open for questions. If,
we can actually even use those questions to tailor our content and make sure that we address them in detail during the class.
Yeah, that is a good idea. We can do that. Yes.
Hello,
Anybody
good
from the
morning.
audience?
Can I ask a
Absolutely.
question? I'm Sandeep here.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, so how do we differentiate this digitization or digitalization from, let's say, ERP in a company? Okay, that is one I just want to understand. And whether this is a standard product that is available, or is it something to be made to the company specific processes?
Let me
Rippy, you
handle
want to
that.
start or should I start?
Yeah, no, I'll give it. So guys, think about it. You can replace a device with a digital device, or you can transform a process which becomes extensively automated, extensively, handling all of the digital devices connected with each other. That's called digitalization. So ERP is in some sense a digitalization level solution. When you try to combine all processes, let's say if you can combine ERP with a CRM, with a PLM, with actual production machining, with billing, with HR, every piece, including the leadership decision assistance, then it becomes digital transformation. So digital transformation is at a higher level than the ERP, which is at a process level, than the device, which could be your CNC machine or anything else. So digital transformation, for that matter, is not a product. Okay. It's a mindset. Think about it as lean was one mindset we wanted to build. Continuous improvement was a mindset we wanted to build. Digital transformation is a mindset where you are bringing in digital devices, connecting devices into processes, connecting processes into a business benefit. That's digital transformation. So each company has to design based on their processes what their future transformation looks like.
And it really also depends on your company what the digital transformation will mean. For some companies, it could be that the digital transformation is kind of buying one product and you are already quite far. For other businesses, it would mean that you have to buy multiple products and then find a way to combine all of them, to make them work together. Now, hopefully, the manufacturers of all those products have thought about it, how to combine all their tools. That will be the future. And in some future, tools which cannot automatically connect to other tools will not have a future anymore. So, and that is something, it is really, number one, getting you to a new process of thinking of how an IT landscape could look like, how this improved level of an IT landscape can help your business. And then on the other side, then to help you figure out, okay, what are things I have to watch for if I buy the products, and what those products need to incorporate already, so that in some future, you can then start combining all of them automatically. Because this, if you want to combine them by hand, using a couple of programmers, it would be a burden that most companies couldn't handle because it's just so much effort. But once that is more in an automated way, and you know for what you have to look for on the market, then you will now do the right decisions to buy the right product, which will help you come to a digital transformation in some future.
Okay. Right. Thanks.
Indu here. I just had a question. Can I ask now?
Please.
Yeah, it was great actually listening to you at the beginning, I must say. And, the basic things you cleared as is, what digital transformation is, how it is going to help. And I will always remember the statement that you just said, Ripi sir, that just because we can't see it doesn't mean we don't need it. So I take these few statements that you have made in the session. I just want to understand exactly what my takeaway would in terms of will you be discussing any tools as well? Because I've got that you will definitely be giving us an idea regarding the pathway or what digital transformation is, various examples in the industry, right? Will you be also covering certain tools that will help?
We will have certain management process and tools. If you're thinking of, will we talk about a specific ERP tool? The answer is no. We're not talking about third-party commercial tools, because we're not salespeople for anybody. We are thought leaders in the process, and we educate our participants on what it is and how to select if you actually need commercial off-the-shelf products or tools that you want to buy, we will talk about the guidance as to how to select the one that fits in your organization. But we don't advertise or sell or any of those things out there. We will talk about management tools and management processes that you can use.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you will be talking about certain select tools that will help us, right? Not
Yes.
anything in particular, but in general, you'll be giving us an idea regarding all the available tools in the market, right?
Not the commercial technology tools. No, we will talk about business process tools. We'll talk about tools to generate ideas. We'll talk about tools to put those ideas together into a form of a roadmap. We'll talk about tools that help you accelerate digital transformation. These are all intellectual business process tools.
Yeah, and
got it.
And there are thousands, if not millions, of different tools on the market, and every day hundreds of new ones are created. And yes, you can look online for digital transformation tools and you will find some, but most likely they will not be fitting your company's needs. What you first have to do, you have to find out what your company really needs.
Correct.
And only once you have done that, once you know what kind of tool you really need, then you can start looking for those within those millions of tools, which 10 of them will work, and then have somebody come in and present it to you how those work. But this is the step we want to teach you, is really how can we get to a point that you can better understand what you really need.
Okay, so out of this session, after this session, I'll be able to draw out a roadmap for my company that will take or lead me to this digital transformation, right?
One day course will make you aware what to look for and what not to fall for. What's a shiny toy versus what's a valuable activity? Is that enough for you to go back and build a roadmap for your company? I don't want to promise that, because it really depends upon you and your management team how you go about it. We'll actually do a little practice exercise at the end of the day, 1 hour with the cohorts. Within the class, if let's say we get 25 people, we'll probably make 4 or 5 groups, and small group, you will take a fictitious company and you'll do an exercise as if you're creating a roadmap. Now, can that translate into when you go back home? I would say you should be able to, but I cannot guarantee that that 1 day is enough for that.
Yeah.
So
and
this
it
will
will
serve as a step then.
This is awareness. This is awareness education on how to do and what not to do. There are lots of things that you want to avoid. So we also talk about those traps that you don't want to fall in.
Right.
And you should not make a digital transformation roadmap all by yourself. You actually need to involve, the vertical and the horizontal part of the organization. Normally, when we help companies build a full roadmap, it takes about 3 to 6 months and about 10 to 15 people to build that. Because, a transformation roadmap is like a multi-year activity. You won't get it immediately. So
Absolutely. I mean, it's a team. I mean, I just said because I represent the company right now.
Yes.
So it's definitely the team activity.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Welcome. What else? What other questions do we have on? I think those were great questions, trying to understand as to, how far we are taking, how far will you be in a 1-day course, right? Let's figure out 1-day course the joke I have is, it's actually an old one and I have now updated. You can't learn swimming by watching a YouTube video. You have to jump into the pool and learn it, right? Now, we can get you into the pool for a day. It's like one visit to the pool. That one visit to the swimming pool also does not make you a swimmer. It just tells you what not to do so you will not drown in water. You still have to come to the pool for a while before you become a good swimmer. So that's what the digital transformation will take you to. So we'll take you, instead of teaching swimming on a YouTube, we actually take you to the swimming pool for the first visit.
Right. Any other questions? Anybody?
So, somebody was earlier asking about the bigger differences. One of the industries, and I'll tell you, I want to keep the conversation going, for example, for another couple of minutes. You know how our travel booking has changed in the last 20 years. I know my very first flight that I took in 1992, you go to a travel agent and 3 days later you get a paper ticket and it is with this booklet and you keep tearing pages at every stage when you go along, right? Now you go online, you book your flight, you book your hotel, you book your rental car, all on one website. It gets paid through the credit card automatically. You get an email to check in. You check online, you get your boarding pass on the cell phone, you go use it. That's digital transformation of how you plan and execute your travel, right? How retail shopping has changed. Johannes and I write books. 40 years ago, when my grandfather wrote a book, it took him 5 years and he had to buy 1,000 copies and it was all paper. I think 25 years ago, when my uncle wrote a book, it was a 1-year job because there was computer. That was a 3.0. Now we can do a book in a weekend and we can get it published over the weekend, and 1 copy is enough. Amazon will print just 1 copy and give it to you at the same price as if you're doing 5,000 copies. It's amazing how industries have actually adopted digital transformation to completely change the customer experience. I think today digital transformation is a strategy for competitive advantage, and not doing it will hurt people more. One of the frequently asked questions we get is, where is the ROI? What is the cost of doing it? And we say, that's a wrong question to ask. The right question is, what is the cost of not doing it? You can actually be out of business if you don't do it. Is there a business out there that doesn't run without email? And yet Johannes says that now is a time to dump email, right? So that's transformation. And that's what we have to be aware of.
Okay.
Any other question? Anything else you would like to add? If not, everyone's time is valuable and this is an evening in India, so we don't want to hold you for too long.
Friday evening in particular.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Friday. I forgot about Friday. I can't even remember the days now. It's all just blurry. But that's good engagement, guys. Thank you from my side. We are happy to see you here, and we'll be happy to see you again for a full day. During our courses, we actually play 2 or 3 games, team games that bring this concept home. We have built a toolkit that that teaches the concept in about 15 minutes, which some of us have taken 2 years to learn the hard way. That's what we do.
Interesting. All right. If we don't have any further questions, should we close for the day then?
We can close for the day. And if anybody is over here, I know we had an early bird discount on the course fees to be, if you were to register before October 31st, but somehow we got to this session a little late. So for all the people who are joined today, you can still avail the discounted price if you get to us by Monday or Tuesday, reach out to Magda and say, we heard you, we spent time over there and you promised us the early bird discount, and we'll honor that. So
Yeah,
please take it.
Absolutely.
I don't have anything else to say unless, and guys, connect with us on LinkedIn. We understand you have to take a decision. And if for some reason you are busy on December 5th, can't do it, just connect with us and there'll be more opportunities to learn on this topic. Johannes has a YouTube channel. Lots of stuff exists over there. We continuously post on LinkedIn. So if this course does not work out for you, you can still follow us on our content on digital transformation.
So from my side, see you all in Pune. It will be my first time visiting India, so I'm already a little bit nervous. But I have heard a lot of good things. So
no, you will enjoy it here, I'm sure.
Johannes, the only person you need to be worried about is me, and I think you have known me long enough.
So thank you everybody for joining us today, and I hope to see all of you on the 5th. If you have any further questions and are not able to share it today, you can email us as well. So we will get back to that. And yeah, that's all from our side then. Thank you so much for joining.